Robert Schleip is one of Germany's best-known researchers on fascia. Ever since he discovered how fascia is connected within the human body and how important movement is for our connective tissue, he's exercised every day with a skipping rope. Schleip is a trained psychologist and physiotherapist who, like many involved in fascia research, came to the field seeking answers to problems he saw daily in his practice. To discover what he was feeling with his hands, he took a sabbatical and devoted his energies to scientific study. He did his postdoctoral thesis on fascial tissue at Ulm University's Institute of Applied Physiology. His findings have won awards.
It's a bit like a fairy tale, because the fascia really was a kind of Cinderella. Something like the plump spotty kid at school who gets laughed at, but then suddenly gains recognition. For me, it is a deeply moving story and one that is also true. In the past, the fascia was seen as a disposable organ. Classical anatomists were happy when they had removed this colourless, sticky tissue to expose the actual muscles and organs. But in recent years, this structureless organ has attracted so much attention. And that, to me, is a really exciting development.
Robert Schleip wants to determine the diverse functions of the long underestimated fascia and find out what this fibrous white tissue actually consists of. The fascia is comprised of fibroblasts and a surrounding structure known as a matrix. Fibroblasts are the cells of the connected tissue. Among other things, they produce the collagen fibers that the matrix largely consists of. Effectively, the fasciae build up a home out of collagen.
Interestingly, the cells in the fascial connective tissue only account for very little of the tissue's volume, but they constitute a large part of the rest. I like to compare it to ants that have built a large anthill together, even though they themselves make up less than 10% of the volume.
Together with anesthesiologist Werner Klingler, Schleip is on a quest to understand fibroblasts, the jack of all trades in connective tissue. Thanks to the collagen, the fibroblasts have a healing effect. If we cut ourselves, they close the wound. But too much collagen can also be harmful. Schleip and Klingler have studied how the tissue in an arm changes when it's put in a cast after an injury. Their study confirms that exercise is extremely important for the fascial tissue.
After 3 weeks in a cast with no movement, the tissue in the arm has begun to overgrow.
Picture A on the left shows healthy, undamaged tissue before the arm was put in plaster. Picture B was taken 3 weeks later. The change in the tissue is unmistakable. It has become matted, the structure thicker and chaotic.
The data we've obtained show quite clearly that a lack of exercise results in overproliferation of the connective tissue structures, and thus in a loss of function. This is the decisive discovery. It means that exercise is essential for maintaining our fascia.
Too little exercise and bad posture can cause fascia to become so rigid it can even compress nerves and muscles. Exercise, we are told, is a key to good health. Movement is also vital to maintain healthy fascia, which needs regular stimulation. Otherwise, it agglutinates or becomes stiff.